Hello, everyone. Hello, we're live. Welcome to this Game Republic event. Hope you're all doing well. We have three speakers today. Fantastic, from Secret Mode, from BGFG and GG Insurance as well. So any questions that you may have, please pop them into the Q&A bit below, and we'll come to them a bit later on. For our speakers. But as you can see, we've got a big screen up here with Secret Mode on it. So we'll kick off with James Schall. So over to you, James.
Thank you very much, Jamie, and good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to take a couple of moments to talk you through Secret Mode, publishing division, which has been born and created, and it's part of Sumo Group. So I will talk you through Secret Mode, and hopefully some of you will want to connect with us and have a conversation about any projects that you've got and that you're working on. So why Secret Mode? When we set up the publishing group, we spent a lot of time trying to establish a name that really meant something. And it's very difficult these days to find names that can stand out, that haven't already been picked up by folks. So we were looking at lots of different elements to create a name that was synonymous and meant something within the gaming sphere, which again is super hard given how many games companies there are out there. But we found Secret Mode and we fell in love with it straight away, and we were able to kind of build our company and the values behind that very much based on the name and what Secret Mode means. So what is Secret Mode, and what are its values? And that's what I'll talk to you about in the next couple of slides. So we know and we like to play within secrets. We love Easter eggs. We love hidden clues. We love mystery. We also feel that there is a lot of mystery and unknown science behind publishing games and making games successful. And we think within the team, we've got a lot of experience, a lot of expertise, and a lot of understanding of data and really working with data in the right way, alongside your gut to make the right decision. So for us, the secret part not only goes for our playfulness, but also in the way we think we've got the keys to unlock many of the problems out there about discoverability and success. And for us, the mode element is about the rules of play that are already out there, and it can be, particularly fashionable or aligned of what's in the zeitgeist. But also, we want to challenge what the norm is. Why are certain things done a certain way within the games industry? We've all been in there in the games industry for some time within Secret Mode, and we want to kind of understand the kind of normal structures, the normalcy of what happens within video games, and why is this done, and if there are things we can kind of break or challenge. And the one of the main things for us as a group is that we're super passionate about games. We've all grown up with games, various aspects of various ages and backgrounds, but we all have a joy of gaming, and we feel that having an organization that has this passion and drive will help us engage and talk to our community and also our development partners, because we really get and love and see the opportunity within video games. So quality is the thing that really drives us in terms of value. I really want to see games exist with great feedback and from customers and players. And what I mean by that is I don't really mind to see negative reviews or reviews that are more challenging around the story or around some aspects of the gameplay that a player might not like. But having spent a lot of time on Steam, you see a lot of reviews which say, I really want to like this game, but the UI may be a problem. The controllers don't kind of work. The kind of controller UI is a bit weird, or it doesn't have a great set of resolution options. So there's a lot of kind of games that don't get to be as good as they should be because a lot of best practices don't get followed, and we really partnering with our developer partners to kind of inform and make sure the games can kind of sing in the best way possible and really exist because of the content as opposed to the delivery. We want to be one of the most fun places to kind of work with and work for. We all got a smile on our faces, and as I mentioned, we all love games, and we kind of want that to eke into our community. So the way we're going to start to interact with our community is going to be very fun and also very mature, not from a case of content, but we think video games are an art form and a cultural piece of enjoyment that can be the same as movies, as the same as art, as the same as music. And for us, it's about knowing that and talking to our audience in such a way that isn't belittling them or coming across in a bit a bit twee. So we're really looking forward in the kind of having fun with our audience and players and building a really strong community. Part of the drive across the whole publishing group is also about inclusivity, and not in terms of just things which are very important right now in regards inclusivity, but also in terms of content. Having games that come from developers who can really get behind their kind of story and their genre, and for us not to go out and kind of have a cookie cutter approach to what games we're looking for. So I speak to a lot of developers who are like, what kind of games are you looking for? And it really is, well, we're looking for something with a bit of heart and a bit of spirit. And that inclusivity really reaches out into that we're not feeling challenged about any games that we're seeing. And we want to see a game that we all see as an individual group that we know will bring happiness and delight to our players. And that's something we're really focused on, is thinking about the player first. If we make a decision, be it a price, be it a promotion, be it a release date, be it content, what does the player think about this? How does that come across? Because we feel the players to make sure we can kind of create the best experience for them and also ourselves. We're super creative, not just in terms of games development, but also in regards to the way we run promotions or marketing. We have a super nimble team that's very flexible in terms of making decisions and looking at those decisions. We work with data in a really fresh way for me, which is engaging with that data, questioning it. Why is that data showing a particular point, rather than just making a decision based on that data point, trying to understand a lot more into why things happen. And that has been really exciting for us to get into that. And we want to deliver long-term success with our development partners and also the games we work on. We're not really keen and looking at run and gun opportunities where, we launch something and then kind of move on. We really want to build experiences that kind of last, and that does still include single player short form games. I think there's a lot of opportunity for games to be discovered, not just on day one as kind of they are through launch, but to still be discovered after 3 years, because you're not reaching all of your customers on that first day. There will be a whole bunch of people who'll be discovering you as you move down through time. In working with our partners, we have got a lot of experience and insight in what's fair and respectful, and we're really priding ourselves on being very transparent with our development partners. And it's core to what we're doing. For example, so we've had well over 180 pitches into us since we went public on March the 11th. And it is our aim to go through every single one of those pitches and reach out and speak to the developer in question in person. Even if that is a rejection, we think it's a really positive and fruitful conversation to have with someone, where you're sharing the reasons why you won't be working on their title. And I think that's a really important dialogue to have. And many of the developers we've been working with have really respected and enjoyed those conversations. And it keeps the kind of communication going. And, we want the best for kind of everybody, including ourselves. But we believe doing so in that way is really strong for us. And those are the core values of Secret Mode. the publisher. Now, who we are, we're a range of individuals. When we're growing as a team, there's many more folks being recruited into various roles, and we are going to be expanding over the coming years to becoming a publishing force. But right now we've got a range of experiences from Dovetailed Games, from Sega, from Nintendo, from a chap as well who's published and developed well over 50 indie titles himself. Richard there, who's head of our developer relations. And it's given us a really good background for us to grow and have great conversations internally about titles that we're operating on. There are a few questions about Secret Mode and Sumo and how does it exist within Sumo? Well, we are our own entity within Sumo Group, and we stand alongside other Sumo businesses like Sumo Digital, like Pipeworks and AtomHawk, and we have great conversations with them. We may look at picking up games that might come out of game jams, or maybe new IP ideas from all of these individual studios we work alongside, but it also gives us a great chance for dialogue and conversation and for sharing ideas and information from within Secret Mode. But Secret Mode very much exists as its own entity within the wider Sumo family. In terms of all of the services that we offer, the kind of menu, if you will, it can be all or some or even none of these things. We can look at funding partnerships, and we're funding projects from tens of thousands to millions of dollars. We've got great commercial expertise within the team that we can kind of really get the best for you when it comes to your pricing, your promotions, when's the right time to run promotions, doing promotions for the right reasons, working out what your KPIs are for your game at any one point, and running the right sort of activity. Our data and BI, we're building our own data systems and business intelligence systems, which is giving us such a great kind of backing and insight into gameplay, and also the way some elements of monetization work, how users enter particular points in the funnel, loads of different things, right down to how people are enjoying our game, doing assessments on reviews. So that's been really helpful. We've got a great marketing team being built and hired, which will include creative services, customer services, community, and I'll touch on marketing in a little bit longer. And we also offer development support, so we can offer loads of insights, be it network code, be it artwork, be it milestone building, a whole different range of development support. So from all of the developers we've been speaking to at the moment, there hasn't really been, as I mentioned, that cookie cutter, what can you do for us? Every deal has kind of been new and different and involved different kind of elements from this menu. In terms of the marketing, we are really pleased to kind of have such a strong backing within the marketing team of experience and insight. And there's a whole range of activities that we provide. Influencer campaigns and as I mentioned before, community management are absolutely pivotal to what we are going to be working with our partners on, but also the kind of storefront optimization, should I say, which we feel we're really good at, and we want to learn more about. And it's a constantly changing environment, but we think there's a lot of kind of do's and don'ts and secret magic to what you can and can't do on digital platforms, and we're there to kind of help you do that. That's the summary from us within Secret Mode. We do have a lot of Easter eggs, which I'm not going to give you the answer to now, but this says something to you all in the Secret Mode code. I know this is being recorded, so I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you can kind of hopefully use it. And the Secret Mode code is a utilization of some of the elements in our logo, which will be ever evolving and has a number of hidden elements which are there for our community and our fans and also our partners to discover. So that's it from me. Back to Jamie if we've got any questions.
Good stuff. Thank you, James. I'm just trying to work out what that is actually, but yeah, no idea. I'd usually be going on Game FAQs or something at this point. So
I can roll the logo back up there. Maybe people can take a look and see what they can find.
Yeah, good stuff. Brilliant. Yeah, if anyone has any questions they'd like to ask James, please just pop them into the Q&A. I'm going to ask a couple of questions anyway. So, I mean, it's great to hear that you give feedback to companies. It's something that I hear quite a bit from developers. It's like that they never, well, not with all publishers, obviously, but with some publishers, they don't get an answer. They don't get a yes, don't get a no. They kind of, left to hang on for quite a while. So, I mean, you will get back to developers quite quickly and give an answer.
We're trying to. Quickly is something that, we've let some people down on, right? Because we've got 183 pitches came in from March the 11th. And I'm sure there's things there that are kind of, we're yet to get to, but we're working our way through it. We're informing people, and it's kind of, once you've had that initial conversation that this is interesting, I think it is very important to either let people know that, okay, this is something we're not going to progress, or to kind of keep folks very informed. And I don't know if it's a case of oversharing with us, but we want to make sure that people know where they stand, because I wouldn't want there to be kind of, we could well in the past have been particularly positive about a game, and developers may well have thought, okay, it's practically a done deal, right? And it's making sure we have the right feedback to keep people informed and within the loop. So we're setting up a bunch of really quite clever CRM system database for our dev contacts, so we know the age of those contacts, so we can prioritize who's been waiting and maybe way up versus the kind of level of importance. Now, the feedback, as you mentioned, it's heartbreaking in a lot of cases, especially on a video call, because it can feel quite odd in times we're not looking at someone in person. But to give someone feedback that you're not going to work on their project, and that initial few seconds of that rejection can be quite difficult. However, every single one we've done has blossomed into a really positive conversation, because we've explained to them why. And either that advice is, this is what we do with your game, this is the way we'd look at things differently, this is the way we might change your pitch, which then becomes a kind of interactive conversation with the developer, because that's information they don't tend to kind of get normally. And then as well, if it is purely, look, we really like your game, but it doesn't fit because of X, Y, and Z, that's also really important for them to know. So it's not a case of I'm having to completely 360 on what I'm doing. This rejection is purely based on this, right, which is out of my control. And I think it's really important for us to have those. And I know there's a load of publishers who do that, and that's absolutely great. And we want to stand alongside those and have that really positive conversation with people.
Yeah. Good stuff. We've had some questions, actually. A couple from Mark Gregory. Hi, Mark. What does secret mode look for in a pitch deck, and what sort of state do you like to see a prototype in?
So that's a great question, Mark. So we can see projects at any stage. So I've seen projects that have been out for 5 years that someone needs some work in getting discoverability on, and that's great, through to early access games, through to games with playables and games which are really, really concept. We can look at all of them and give feedback, and we can kind of see a concept. If it is just in an early, let's say, PowerPoint with a few bits of information about the game, those are kind of easy for us to give an opinion on. Is this something we like or not? But in terms of, is this something that we can work on, we would need, I would say, pre-production or prototype, or at least some kind of guide to the core game loop that we can then make an assessment on, to enable us to run some financial modeling to see if it's an opportunity that is of interest to us and kind of fits within our profile. So it is a wide range of things, but the kind of perfect pitch deck would include a demo or vertical slice, and kind of an idea of what your homages are and what kind of gameplay the kind of elements the gameplay loop takes shape on. I've seen very few projects which have come up to us which have been a bit Me Too. Out of the 180, probably a handful have been, here's a bunch of things that we've seen in top sellers charts and we've made something similar, right? So there's been so much conversation within Secret Mode on people's pitches. It's been a very creative and interesting journey we've been on looking through those pitches. But yeah, to answer Mark's question, it is vertical slice, some kind of game demo or playable is super important for us to make a decision on a go.
Yeah, good stuff. And as for platform, are you platform agnostic? Are you going to look for VR games as well, for example?
Yeah, PC is a really healthy platform to kind of experiment on and grow. So we're kind of looking at PC and console as our main platforms. We're not turning down other platforms and other kind of opportunities like VR, but we really need to kind of prove out the reasoning for us doing something. And with VR, I think we do want to play within that space, but we need to kind of prove out a lot of the things that are happening within VR before we would make a big investment, for example, on a solely VR, multi-million-dollar title.
Yeah, good stuff. We've had another question in from Joe. All right, Joe. Joe Carroll. With 183 pitched, how many are you looking to actually take on? And how many can Secret Mode develop?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. And that's for us to look at our own resources. We are not going to sign too many games. That stretches the team. I'm very aware of making sure my team is happy and engaged. I don't want them feeling stressed. I want them to enjoy working for us. So we involve all elements of the Secret Mode team in signing a game and making sure we want to bring games through that progression, because we need to be quite tight with the resources. I think we've got a great growth plan that could potentially give us maybe 10 titles in the first 12 months, of which maybe 50% would be from within Sumo itself, for example, and a kind of rolling similar number over the next 12, 36 months. We've got a very nice growth plan, but those are the kind of levels we're looking at. We're not looking for one game, but we're certainly not looking for 15, 20 games. It has to be manageable. The games can either complement each other or they can be completely different genres, right? So as well, we're being quite open about the types of games we're looking at. But I hope that answers the kind of number question.
Good stuff. Just another quick question from Mark, quick addition. He just said, do you like to see a budget breakdown in a pitch? Some kind of budget?
Yes. So really helpful stuff would be milestone breakdowns, and also the kind of investment. Now, lots of developers, you will get a conversation where I'm looking for 2 million, right? And then you can get into a conversation where you're rejecting, and then it's like, well, my budget's 1 million. It's like, make sure your budget gives you the ability to launch the game as you want. Don't cut corners to cut costs, right? Don't cut features from your game just to get a publishing deal. Get a publisher that can support you with the kind of budget that you're working on. So a milestone plan, and then a kind of understanding in your own head of what that deal could look like. We have a range of terms. We don't have a kind of set structure financially, so we can look at shares that are particularly high for the developer, where there isn't a great deal of investment in our side, or if there are heavy development from our side, the shares are a little bit less. But it kind of, the goal there is to have a fair deal, and we've certainly had that with the conversations and the projects that we've signed. It's all about making that deal feel fair for everybody. And, we wouldn't want anybody kind of doing a deal with us and then wandering away thinking, I don't feel that's healthy. We don't want that. So there's a lot of hard work goes into kind of tweaking those aspects. So yeah, to answer that question, milestones, budget, what you are aiming to invest yourself, right? Or, and also government funding, any sort of tax credits, and then what you're looking for. Nice and simple. This is the number that I'm looking for to get to my 1.0.
Good stuff. And we've had from Matthew Hamilton, he's had a go at the code. He says, does the code at the end say thank you? Well,
he's a smart cookie, but I'm not commenting.
Right. Okay. Good stuff.
Well done, Hamilton.
Good stuff. Thanks very much, James. How do people get in touch with you? If they want? Obviously, we can do it through Game Republic, and I can put
Game Republic
in touch with you.
Our website is wearesecretmode.com, and we've got a link on there which you can submit. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, James Schall, and we can I'll send you my email, and then we can get pitches in that way. Or also, if you search out Secret Mode on Twitter, you can find us on there.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you, James. Really interesting there, and I look forward to seeing what kind of games you can reveal over the next kind of few months and things.
Exciting, isn't it, Jamie? I can't wait. Thank you.
Good stuff. Excellent. Right, if you could, brilliant. Thank you, James. So on to our next speaker now, and Dave Woods we have here from By Gamers for Gamers. Hello, Dave. Come in. Are you there?
Hi, Jamie. I'm here, I think.
Good stuff. Brilliant. A little bit of background. Me and Dave worked on a magazine called PC Zone 15, 16 years ago now, which is kind of insane. Dave was editing the magazine. I was kind of deputy editor. And I think this is the first time we've kind of worked together in the games industry since then. So this is quite exciting.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think it's that long ago. It doesn't seem that long. I was at Zone for 6 years, had a fantastic time there, worked with some really, really talented people. And we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun putting the mag together, and we had a lot of fun playing games. But yeah, 16 years, it flies by, doesn't it?
It does. And it's funny, kind of, we were talking beforehand and how small the industry is, but James previously worked at Sega, and he worked on Football Manager Live, which PC Zone did as a cover. So It's kind of like, it's a small world, isn't it? But you're here for BGFG. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your role and what exactly the company's working on?
Yeah, sure. So after PC Zone, I sort of went on a different tangent of a journey that took me into the poker industry to start off with, which was, again, fascinating industry. Quite a bit of crossover, actually, with games. There was quite a few pro gamers that came across to poker. Some StarCraft players came across some big ones. And then from there, went into a contract division of Dennis Communications. So, maybe in terms of the fun that we were talking about, not so much in there, but worked with some brilliant brands, Big Issue, Sky, and then set up on my own. And that took me into football. So again, completely different, but another one of my passions. And actually started a bit of a love affair with Leeds and Bielsa from that. And obviously I know that you're a Leeds fan, so...
I might have mentioned it a few times, on occasion at these events.
So I've sort of become one of these plastic fans that I hated, that wasn't born in Leeds, just a convert to Bielsa and his football, and if anyone does watch football, obviously, in the Premier League this year, it's been fantastic. And I think a lot of people have adopted Leeds as their second team. But I got introduced to BGFG, had some conversations with them and just realized really quickly there's a huge amount of synergy. What I felt about the games industry, what they felt about the games industry, the journey that they want to go on and the content they want to create and the company they want to build. And I really quickly decided that I wanted to be a part of that and join the journey and help sort of steer them to new shores. So I'm set to join as editorial director. Not there officially yet, but will be very shortly. it involved a journey for me from the Isle of Man back over to the UK. They're based in Manchester. So it would be good to get back on the mainland and civilization again.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And by gamers for gamers, they basically have a kind of portfolio of different websites, don't they? So how can, if developers are interested in getting involved, are you going to reveal more over the next few months?
Yeah, so our plan is to just get out there and talk to as many people as possible and get our message across. There's a number of different brands, so I can go through them really quickly. We've got WePC, which is top-end gaming hardware and builds. And then PC Guide, which is more consumer-level PC hardware and tech. And then Gamer Verdict, which will incorporate esports verdict.
Cool.
And Gamer Verdict is everything gaming, where PC Guide and WePC are hardware mainly. Gamer Verdict and esports verdict are gaming, so and that will include PC, mobile and consoles as well. And I think the clue is in the name of the company. This is what really attracted me to them. So by gamers for gamers, the idea is that everyone at the company is a passionate gamer. And I think that's really important. When we were on PC Zone, it was a bit of a mantra for us as well. We never did the magazine as we're the experts and we're talking down to you, the readers. It was more a big club, where everyone was involved. And that's something that I've taken throughout my career. I think it's really important. And so, by gamers for gamers, that was really important to me. And I think it sort of says in a nutshell what the company is and where they're trying to go and what they're trying to do. It's interesting what James said about, fun. And obviously that's a huge part of gaming. And it should be a huge part of every job that's connected with gaming. We should all go into work and enjoy ourselves. We're really lucky to work in this industry. And by gamers for gamers, again, they've got a great company culture. It's really forward thinking, but they just want the passion, and that passion comes across, if people are enjoying themselves and are really happy doing what they're doing. So all of this, fed down to me as, really great company to join. And yeah, in terms of, what we're going to do, we are obviously going to get the message out to everyone. As soon as the world gets back to normal a little bit, we'll be going out and presenting to people and putting our mission across. Obviously great to come on here, Game Republic, and get to talk about them as well. And yeah, we just want to talk to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. We're based in Manchester. So, we're part of the new media powerhouse up there, the BBC, obviously. And yeah, we're really looking forward to, growing the next really big editorial brand up there.
Fantastic. And it's handy that you're just on our doorstep and you're Game Republic members now as well. So, when you can reveal more about, how our developers can get involved, we'll host it again and you can talk about that. And we can, I think for game developers, it's, a lot of the, there's a lot of issues around visibility and that, getting their game seen. So anything that you can do to help that and help our companies and get their game out in front of gamers is obviously is going to be hugely important. Yeah,
I mean, we aim to be as approachable as possible, and our focus isn't just going to be on the big games and the big brands. We want to seek out the best in everything. And there's a huge amount of games out there, from AAA down, and we are aiming to just find the best, whether that's the smallest game developed by one person up to the big blockbusters as well. So we would love to hear from all developers, no matter how big or small. Our door will always be open, and yeah, we just want as many people to get into contact as possible. For us, it's finding the best means getting introduced to the best games as well. So any developers that have got a gem that they might be finding it hard to get coverage for, then just get in touch.
Yeah, fantastic, Dave. And it's great, obviously based in the north as well, because a lot of the media companies are either in London or they're in Bath for future publishing and stuff. So it's great that we've got such a big company based up here, and accessing our companies as well, and so it means that they can get their games seen as well.
Yeah, I think it's about time, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
A lot of people go down to London for work, and Bath has become a huge hub for gaming media.
PC Games N and all the Network N down there as well, isn't there? As well as Future.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So Bath's becoming, a huge place, and so we aim to make Manchester the sort of the third big hub for editorial, and
which is exactly, as a Leeds fan, that's exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah.
No, it's great, it's fantastic, and it's brilliant that you're back into games and doing stuff in Manchester. So look forward to hearing more, Dave, and thanks for joining today. If anybody wants to get in touch at this stage, is it all right if I kind of introduce them and put them?
Yeah, absolutely. So, through Jamie at Game Republic, you can email me on dave.woods@bgfg.co.uk. And I'm also on LinkedIn as well. So, I'm really excited to get started. Can't wait. It's going to be a really, hopefully a really exciting journey for BGFG. And really hoping to talk to you more, but also talk to the Game Republic people and start getting out to meet the developers.
Yeah, good stuff. Brilliant. Thank you, Dave, and thanks for joining us today. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And if anybody wants to hear some blokes rabbiting on about some magazines that they used to work on, there is now a podcast, PC Zone Lives, which you can find on Twitter and find links to that online. So thanks again, Dave. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jamie.
Good stuff. Our final speaker today is Phil Wildman from GG Insurance. So hello, Phil. Are you there?
Hi, Jamie. Good to see you. Thanks.
Good stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Yeah,
so,
no worries.
I know this is the exciting bit that everybody's been looking forward to. I'm here to talk about insurance.
Everything else has been warming up to this. So.
I know. This is the big moment, right? No, but seriously, just to introduce ourselves. So my name is Phil. I founded GG Insurance a couple of years ago. We're an insurance company as well as a broker, which means we've got our own in-house products as well as working with a panel of over 70 different insurers. So we can work with anything from small indie devs to international publishers, and we've got quite a varied book of business there. So why games insurance then? So it's insurance is often misunderstood. People see it as an annoying cost that they have to sort of bear once a year, and there's a lot of sort of misunderstandings on how it works. Why do I need it? Why am I being asked to get it? So it's really there to sort of protect your business from business-to-business disputes, which do happen, unfortunately. I know in this industry, everybody likes to think that we're all best friends, but that when there's a lot of money flying around and there's big commitments, especially if we're looking at a developer and a publisher working together, really there's a commitment there from both sides. And if a publisher is going to invest in you as a developer and they're going to put up 2 million, they will expect to see certain results. And sometimes it does go wrong. So it's quite often that we talk to a developer who's signing with a publisher, whether it's the guys at Secret Mode maybe or Epic or one of the other usual suspects, and they've been asked to get insurance because the publisher would want to know that if they're going to sign this deal, if it goes wrong, there's someone there with deep enough pockets to potentially reimburse them. Usually they'd like to resolve it amicably, but sometimes it goes beyond that, and unfortunately lawyers do get involved, and things have to be unraveled, and it's because of that it's often a requirement. So we do get a lot of clients that come to us where they've said, great, we've signed with a publisher, but we've been asked to get this, and we don't know what it is, we don't know why we're being asked it and what it's covered and what it costs. So that's really what we're all about, is guiding people through that process, explaining what errors and omissions means, what professional indemnity is, how to get it, where to get it. We'll arrange it for them, and we also work with publishers as well. So we speak to a number of publishers where we'll work with their in-house legal team, their in-house counsel, and maybe they're becoming a new publisher or want to review their existing arrangements, where we'd say, well, look, these are the kind of risks that you might be exposed to. As a publisher, if you're signing developers, these are the kind of risks that they might be bringing to the table. These are the things that could go wrong, and this is what you need to be asking for. So we'd look after their own insurance, but then say, well, look, would you like us to look after your developers as well? And then we'll look after them too. And then everybody knows that everyone's got good insurance and it's the correct stuff. Which is not always the case. We do see occasions where people have gone online and they've tried to buy something cheap themselves, and the video game industry is not well understood by the insurance industry. Even though it's the biggest entertainment medium, it's seen as niche, which is mad. So some of the insurers that we talk to, oh, that's a cool niche that you guys are in. I'm like, it's not a niche, guys. It's massive. So it just, we're really there to bridge the gap. So I'm a massive gamer myself. I love it, and I love talking to the clients about what they're working on and seeing sort of behind the curtain of the industry and how it all ticks. But with an insurance hat on, we do navigate through some pretty complex arrangements. So if you're just a developer, it's usually quite simple, and sometimes you wouldn't even need insurance as well. We do sometimes get clients that come to us that think they need it. They're panicking that I've just started a new business, I need insurance. I've got to get covered. And when you talk it through, you're like, well, actually, you're pre-ship, you haven't launched anything yet. You're still in like a closed alpha state. Your liabilities they're non-existent. It's not until you sort of go public with something, or you start working with external companies or contractors, or you sign with a publisher, that there's something that could go wrong. If you're still working on it in-house, maybe you don't need it. But my advice is always talk to us early. When you're thinking about it, come and have a chat, and we'll talk it through, and we'll try and make it as simple as possible. And as well, if you've been asked to get insurance, sometimes the publishers will put forward what I call a sort of a boilerplate agreement, where they'll have a big clause in there, and they'll say, oh, you need 5 million of this and 10 million of that, and really it's not appropriate for your business. So we can sort of talk you through that, and sometimes give you the ammunition to go back to them and say, well, why are you asking me to get auto liability insurance? So, oh, well, it's our lawyers have asked for that. Well, get it taken out. So we'll do that. We'll do that for our clients as well. And it's as much about giving a service as just selling a piece of paper once a year with us. We check in regularly, and our policies are all pretty flexible. So if you want to get some cheap, easy cover to start with, and then once you ship your game, you want to upgrade, or you sign with a publisher later, we can upgrade it as we go. And likewise, if you're a publisher working cross borders, so if you're signing deals in America, or you're working with a developer in Singapore or whatever, they've all got different requirements. They might need different insurance companies to work with them. You can't always just use a UK company to cover an overseas business. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But we've got enough reach that we can work with companies around the world. We've got an office in the USA as well, and we've recently just opened our operations in Canada, so we can do Canadian business as well. We're just starting to see our first inquiries there, so it's all cool. It's all good stuff. So I guess my conclusions really are don't neglect it. Come and have a chat with us. Our advice is free. We don't charge. We get paid when we sell a policy. We get a commission from the insurers, so you don't pay anything to talk to us. So you take advantage of that. Come and use our time. We're here to help. Yeah, that's it really. Any questions? Chuck them in the Q&A. Happy to answer. If you want to talk to me afterwards, I'm easy to find. Just phil@gginsurance.net, or Google us, or pick up the phone anytime. Always happy to talk.
Good stuff. Thank you, Phil. Yeah, if anyone does have any questions, you can put them in the Q&A. Still got a minute or two, but you can also ask me as well. I can put you in touch with Phil. We've got quite a few new companies that have joined recently. So insurance isn't something that you immediately think of when you're setting up a new company, but it's something, like you say, when you're doing deals, that it's actually part of the contract when you're signing. So it's something that you do have to think about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
cool. Well, good. Thanks a lot, Jamie, and
yeah, good stuff, Phil,
for listening. Hopefully speak to you soon.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. Thank you very much for joining us today. That's awesome.
Cheers.
Thank you. Excellent. So that's it for today. We've had our 3 speakers, so a big thanks to James, to Dave, and to Phil. Our next event is our Game Republic Student Showcase Award Show, which is on Wednesday, the 26th of May at 4 o'clock, and it's a great opportunity to see prizes being awarded to our the best of the final year students from our educational partners, their projects. So that's on Wednesday, the 26th of May at 4 o'clock. The day after, actually, I'm just giving a quick plug to Barclays Games Frenzy. That's on Thursday, the 27th. There's lots of stuff going on that day, and I'll send out some stuff to you next week all about that. Going forward, we've got a couple of really cool international guests coming to Game Republic events online in the next sort of month. So I'll reveal those next week when I send out an email. And also I'm planning tentatively to have a pub meetup in July, in the middle of July, for kind of the first getting back into doing physical events for Game Republic. It'll be outdoors, and it'll be an opportunity for everyone to kind of meet up, probably 20 to 30 people, and just an opportunity to kind of get us, slowly into going back to physical events if everything goes well over the next sort of few weeks. So I'll keep you posted on that, but it'd be nice if it can happen, and we can all sort of finally get to meet each other again, which is, it's been well over a year, and it'd be nice to do that again in the summer, hopefully when the weather's nice and we can go outside. But that's it for today. Thank you ever so much, all of you, for joining today. And we'll be recording this, so I'll send out the link next week as well. So until next time, thanks very much, and see you all soon. Cheers.